Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday to you. My name is Lori DeGroot from Laurita Marie Crafts. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Calgary, Alberta. And I love to come here live on Thursdays so that I can give you fun tips, ideas, inspiration to help you take your paper crafting supplies and turn them into beautiful projects. Today, I'm finally going to be featuring the Autumn Leaves dies, which I was hoping to share last week, but got totally caught up in a customs issue, and so I did not get them in time. So I am ready to show off the dies and everything that you can do with them, and I hope that you will love it. I've got two color combos that you can use for your fall cards, and so I've got lots of great ideas for you today. So thank you so much for joining me, and if you're watching the replay, I always really appreciate that you're taking the time to watch the replay later. And if you ever need to reach me, you can find my information at lauritamarie.crafts.ca. So let's just get to the card making, right? I've got my plaid on. I'm ready for fall. So we're in the fall zone. Here we're only 2 days away from the first day of fall, and we're finally having fall weather here in Calgary. Yesterday was chilly, and I was not prepared for it to be chilly. And yeah, I didn't know. I wasn't ready. But I think we have to embrace it now that it's almost officially fall, right? So I have used the Autumn Leaves stamp set for you guys recently. Hello, everybody. And I have not been able to use the dies, like I said. So I'm so excited to show off the dies and everything that they can do for you guys today. So there's lots of great images, and so I'm going to be cutting out some as we go through our cards today. But as usual, you're able to cut out the stamped images of each of the leaves. There are 2 label pieces that cut out labels. It's always great. I love that they now put like a label piece in almost every set of dies, which I love. So these are what the label piece look like to fit the sentiments on there. Oh, plus an itty bitty one, which we'll be using today. And then you can cut out branches, which I'm going to show you, and different leaves, and these cute little dot ones, which maybe you're wondering what these do. That's what we're going to be showing off today. So let's just get right to it. I've had a week. I had like a 1-day flu bug. So I don't even know. Today's Thursday, obviously. So I think I had it on Tuesday, and it's just thrown off my whole week. So my 1-day flu bug. So here we are. Let's just get to the card making. So what I wanted to do is show you some color combos. And so sometimes when I'm making cards, sometimes you start with the stamp set, sometimes you start with color inspiration. And what I do is I kind of look at the colors that I have, and sometimes I'll grab ink pads and I'll put them together and see what colors look good. Or sometimes I go and grab cardstock, because sometimes cardstock looks different than the ink pads, right? And so I was like, what's kind of speaks fall to me? And I knew I wanted to use Cajun Craze. So this is Cajun Craze. And so I was like, I wonder what colors would look really good with that. And so I'm actually going to use Mossy Meadow and Cherry Cobbler. So we don't get a lot of reds here in Calgary for fall, which I'm kind of jealous of everyone out east who gets more reds in their fall leaves. We're really just yellow and orange here. But so I wanted to add just a tiny hint of red to speak to those beautiful red colors that you guys get out east. Let's see. So first we're going to start with our card base. And so I wanted to use Cajun Craze, which is a color that I don't use a lot of, I got to admit, but it is the perfect orange for fall. You definitely need Cajun Craze in your stash to make your fall or Thanksgiving kind of projects. So Cajun Craze is our card base. And then Crumb Cake is a great neutral. I think I meant to put that with my color combo. So you can kind of brighten up these dark colors by adding in a little neutral in there. So I'm going to add in this Crumb Cake. And so I've cut this to 3 3/4 by 5, which gives me a nice wide mat so I can see lots of that orange on my card base. And I'm going to do a couple fun things with this. So I'm going to do my Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. And I think I'm going to turn it this way. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut out the shape. So this is the big maple leaf shape. And I want to kind of create a peekaboo look on my card. So I'm going to have it a little bit at an angle, tilted to the left, and I'm going to cut that out. And we're going to create like a little peekaboo effect on our card. And I'm going to save this and I'm going to use it on my second card so that I don't waste that. So we've got that. And now I'm going to use this fun little die here. Does anyone have these dies? I'm curious if you guys have been using these or you don't know if you love it yet. I'm going to be honest. I was not going to get any of the fall stuff. And then I ended up loving all of it, and I'm so glad. It's been so fun to play with. And these dies are awesome, all the different leaves, all the different combinations that you can do. So you see how it adds like this fun little detail on there? So I've done one in the top right corner, and I'm going to do another one on the bottom left. And we'll just run that through again. And we're going to need our machine a few times today, so I'll just put that off to the side. And you can see it just adds a little texture. So we'll grab our card base. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put this fun tartan foil DSP behind this. So I don't know if you guys have seen this yet. It is an online exclusive, so it's not in the mini catalog. And I did use it last week. But I'll show you. I'm going to show you again because it's beautiful. So you get 2 sheets of each of these. So you get copper clay, which still goes really well with Cajun Craze, Lost Lagoon, and Pebble Path. And one side is dark like this, and the other side is this white, and it's shiny. You can kind of see the lights kind of playing off of it. So it's this shiny paper. And so I could have used copper clay for my card base, but I wanted a brighter orange than copper clay. I'll show you the difference. See how brown the copper clay is? So it's a bit different. So I've cut a piece of this tartan foil paper to 3.5 by 3.5. And then it's going to fit behind there to create our little peekaboo look. It's so cute. So let's go ahead and grab our Stampin' Seal here. And I'm just kind of going to go around my leaf. And put some adhesive down. And then we can put that on over top. So cute. I love the plaid peeking out from there. Plaid's my favorite. I always love plaid. And then I wanted to add this kind of branch. So there's got these eyes. So there's 3 of them. So let me show you all of them. So you got 3 different shapes to kind of play with that give you kind of the branches. And so I'm going to put that over top. And so what we're going to do is we're going to cut that out of copper clay just so it has a, just kind of separates the look from the other things. But I thought I'd show this off today instead of cutting it out ahead of time. But when I've got a detailed die like this, I don't like to use liquid glue. It's not my favorite. So I love the adhesive sheets. So these are the adhesive sheets the Stampin' Up sells. And you can buy a package. And the great thing is it's going to last you for a really long time. So you buy one package and you can cut out all your detailed dies with it. And you are going to love it, I promise. Because it just turns your die into a sticker. And I'm just going to cut it to size of my cardstock here. Okay. And then it's got like a peelable backing. So we'll peel that off. And it's sticking to me. There we go. And then we'll just put the cardstock over top. And now we'll bring our machine back. There we go. Do you guys like the adhesive sheets? Have you used them before? I'm a huge fan because I'm not a liquid glue person, so this saves my day. So I'll put the die on. Put my plate on top. So if you don't have this machine, I'm using platforms 1 and 2, then a cutting plate. Cutting plates are number 3. Keeps moving everything around. And then I have to poke this out with my, poke it out with my scissors there. There we go. And so now it's turned into a sticker. So now I'm not going to get glue all over my project. I'm just going to peel the backing off. And then I can lay this on top. And it just fits just nicely into that leaf shape. Ah, lovely. So when I made my sample, I did glue and it drove me crazy because I could see the glue. So I was like, I'm definitely using the adhesive sheets the next time. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and put this onto the card front. Okay. And there we go. So to add into some more colors, right? So remember I wanted to add in the Cajun Craze with the cherry cobbler and some mossy meadow. So I love these little maple leaves. So cute. So you get 2, which is nice, so that when you're cutting out projects, you can cut out 2 at once, even if you only need 1 at a time. And then you've got 2 of these leaves as well. So I've gone ahead and cut these out already. So I've got the maple leaf in the Cajun Craze, and you can see they've got this nice kind of line detail on them. And then I cut out this one in the cherry cobbler. And then there's also there's 2 of these little leaves as well. And so I could have cut this out of Mossy Meadow cardstock, but I had the All About Autumn DSP, which is on back order right now, but I think they upped it. It's going to come back early November. That sounds good. Early October. So I cut it out of that DSP. There's also the oxidized copper paper, which is coming back in October, or the distressed gold. There's some fun different options of paper if you want to look up specialty paper that you can cut it out of. So I've got those 3 shapes that I'm going to tuck behind my sentiment. And so I'm just going to grab a piece of white cardstock here, grab my stamp set, and I'm going to do I'm Thankful, and I'm going to stamp in Cajun Craze. And so this paper is like 3/4 of an inch wide, and I'm just going to stamp it like so. Close that up. And then sometimes when I just, like, I'm not using a die, I just kind of cut at an angle like this. And all of a sudden it gives it a little interest with like 0 effort. So sometimes I like to do that. And then I am going to do one of these little itty bitty sentiments. So there's for all you do today and every day and to have you as a friend. So they kind of like go with the I'm thankful. So I'm going to do the to have you as a friend. So I just got to clean this off so I can use this block again. So then I'm just going to pick it up there, and I'm going to stamp this one in Mossy Meadow just for some contrast. And then I'm going to cut it out with that little die. So I'll close that up and bring this back again. I'm going to use the machine lots today. So you can see here's the die. So it's really small. So you definitely, this is one that you were going to want to probably stamp first and then cut out, as opposed to cutting out the piece and stamping it after. So it might be tricky to fit it in there. So I just kind of hold it and press down to keep it in place. If you find trouble with that, you can always use like a Post-it note or washi tape. Something that's not super sticky, right? Put it over top to hold your die in place for something kind of fiddly like this one. And then we've got our nice little itty bitty sentiment. All right, now we can just start putting it together. We've done all the hard stuff, which wasn't too bad at all, really, right? So we're going to put our leaves behind. And so I'm just going to, on the front of each leaf, I'm going to put a glue dot on. Then pull them off here. And then I'm just kind of going to arrange them a little bit. So kind of however you like. And then we'll grab the sentiment and then just have it kind of poking out, kind of like so, kind of like that. And then I think I'm going to use glue dots on the back of this too. It's skinny, so you can take your glue dots and you can kind of, I just use my fingernails, but you can use a tool of some sort if you want, and you can kind of drag them into like a longer shape so they're not round, if that makes sense. And then they kind of stretch out. I can't really see it there, but I just kind of stretch them out, and then it's just more easy to put on, and then it fits there. Then I wanted to add some twine, and so I've got this copper clay that I'm going to cut to about 9 inches. And just do my favorite, fold back and forth. I just fold it back and forth so it kind of looks like a bow without you actually tying a bow. And then you can put it into a glue dot, put the middle into a glue dot, or you can put adhesive right down onto your project. And I just kind of want to have it poking out kind of on the left side here. And then we'll use dimensionals on the back of this. So I can put them on the leaves too, just to kind of give them some extra support there. I don't know, you guys getting in the mood for fall? Do you decorate for fall? I've kind of minimized, I have a small house, so I find less is more when you have a smaller house. So I don't have a ton of fall decorations, but I do have a few things that I'm going to pull out here now that the weather is getting a bit cooler. And I'm going to use these speckled dots, which I'm hoping are going to be back in stock next week. So keep your eye on the store, or if you want them, you can always let me know and I can keep my eye on the store for you when they come back in stock. And I'm going to use the green and the copper. So it's the mossy meadow and the copper, just to kind of go with my colors here. And you can put them anywhere. And these are kind of poking out, but you can kind of, maybe I'll just tuck them through the loops so they're not sticking out so much, if I can. There we go. That's fun. And then we can stamp the inside. You know, I don't always stamp the inside. Actually, I rarely stamp the inside here on my lives because I like to actually sometimes leave mine empty until I'm ready to send it so that I kind of know what I want to do. But I wanted to show you how the stamp set stamps, and since the front isn't really using the stamp set very much. So I'm going to grab the big maple leaf here and the Cajun Craze, and I'm going to just stamp it in the corner like that. And I'm going to use the Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to grab the other sentiment that says with a grateful heart. Just pick that up. And how did I do it before? Yeah, just kind of at the bottom here. Oh, sorry, just bumped the whole camera. So I just kind of stamped it at the bottom like that. You could center it more if you like it centered, but there's no right or wrong way to do it, right? However you like it to look. And we'll go ahead and put that inside. So this is just basic white cardstock, and Stampin' Up's basic white cardstock is the best. It's so smooth, everything stamps on it so lovely. It's definitely worth it. And it's just cut to 4 1/4. No, so 4 by 5 1/4. And that is our first card. So, and that's our first color combination. So you've got Cajun Craze, Cherry Cobbler, Mossy Meadow, and Crumb Cake. And then for our second card, we're going to change it up a bit. And this is my color combo. So we've got more of the blues in this one, right? So I've got Pretty Peacock with Lost Lagoon, which these look lovely together, right? So it's just kind of a softer and darker version. I've got the Copper Clay and the Crumb Cake again as a great neutral. And then I've just added a tiny hint of Wild Wheat. Just a tiny hint. I feel like Wild Wheat is a controversial color. It's, I don't know, tell me what you think about it. It's not my favorite color. But I'm trying to like find ways to use it, right? So you've just got to like flesh out some color combos that it looks good with, I think is the key, right? And maybe you love it. Maybe it's your favorite color and it's just me. So I'm going to use Crumb Cake as my card base this time, and I'm going to make my card this way. And this time we're going to use the Lost Lagoon tartan foil. So I've just got a little piece here. So it's 1 1/2 by 4, and I'm going to use the white side again, and that's going to go this way. And then so I got my pieces right here. So then I've got a piece of, oh, that's cut too long. Where's my cutter? So then I've just got a 1-inch strip of copper clay, but I just need it to be 4 inches long. And then I have a piece of basic white that's 3 1/2 by 4. And we're just going to layer up these pieces together. So let's grab this again. So this time we're going to grab that strip of copper clay and put this down. And I want to show you this die here and how fun it is. So I'm going to put it to one edge. And get it to go straight here. I feel like I'm all shaky today. Sorry. Okay, it's not going to work for me. So we're going to use a Post-it note. Isn't that what I said? You can use a Post-it note. If it's not going to cooperate with you, stay put. I don't even know. Yeah, let's see if that worked. And we'll just run it through. Let's see how that worked out here. Ah, so that's great. So cut it nice and straight. So you can see it cuts out these cute little dots. So much fun. And then I wanted to add some texture to this white and not just leave it plain. So I'm going to grab my plate 1 and I'm going to use an embossing folder. So here's plate 1, and just whatever embossing folder you have that you think will look good with fall, right? So I like this wood grain texture one. I forget what it's called. Timber 3D embossing folder, and I can open it, yes. And just make sure you've got the wood grain going the way that you want. And then you put the hinge side in first, and then I need plate number 4. And we're just going to run that through. And I think that's the last. I need my machine. And then you've got some, let's see if I can get this, there we go. Then you've got some great texture. So now we're just going to layer these pieces up together. So we'll put the tartan foil one down first. So if you like these cards, these are going to be my current card class. So if you place an order, you can get this for free. An order over $60 using my host code. Or you can come to, if you're local, you can come to my class and you can choose to make these cards as well. So I'll have all the information up. I was just figuring out, so you want to, you could cut this longer if you want, because I cut it 3.5, I just want the dots peeking out. And so it's just going to go at the edge of that tartan foil. And then I'll put my adhesive on this. Oh, now I put it over too far. It's all good. You can't make mistakes on a card, right? You just have to go with it. It looks great. So I got those 3 layers there, and now we're going to make another little leaf bundle, I guess you could say. So that's kind of how I see these leaves. I kind of love the way that they're kind of, you can group them together. So we've got that big maple leaf that we cut out from our first card. So I wanted to be able to use that. And then I cut out a couple more of the branch pieces. So I cut out one in the pretty peacock and one in the wild wheat. And this just shows, like, when you're doing a color combo, it doesn't have to be like so intense, like all dark or all the colors everywhere. Sometimes even just a little hint of the color is all that you need. And then I've cut out a leaf. So that was this die. And this is the oxidized copper paper. And again, this is something that's on back order, but we're coming back in October. But you get 2 sheets of this fun with the pretty peacock and the copper, and this one with the copper clay and the copper, which are really pretty. And when you cut out the leaves from it, I love that you just get that little hint of color and that little hint of shine. And so we're just going to group these up together. So we'll put the stem ones on a glue dot. And here we go. So I think we'll put the wild wheat one first, then the pretty peacock one, and then we'll tuck the copper clay. Let's see how I want it to look. Yeah, just tuck it there. And then we're going to put our sentiment kind of over top. I've cut a shape out already. So yeah, I think that looks good. So any label die that you have works. This is from the Something Fancy dies, which have great label shapes. If you're looking for a die set that just has label shapes, this is one of my favorites at the moment. And so I usually cut my sentiment out of white, but I didn't want white on white. And so I thought, you know what, I'll cut it out of Lost Lagoon. And then I can stamp in Pretty Peacock, because those 2 colors look awesome together. And then it'll show up nicely still. You can also just stamp in black too. That would work. And I'm going to change up the stamp set for this one. So I'm using my layering leaves because I thought either Thinking of You or Thank You So Much would look really good with this. So I'm going to stick with my little thankfulness theme here, since Thanksgiving for us in Canada is just around the corner. Comes up fast. So we'll just ink that up. Center it in there. And then you can see the tone on tone looks really nice. And then we'll grab a couple of dimensionals again. Put those on. Oh, I guess I need to put this on. So let's put the leaf on first. Well, that's not going to be very helpful. It's like, where do I want it? Sometimes I fuss a bit too much. Just stick it down. Okay, and then I'm going to tie a bow with some linen thread and put that on. So this time I'm actually going to tie a bow. So you could do what I did in the last one and loop it and tuck it behind the sentiment, which I tend to do now more than anything. But you can also be brave and tie a bow. I'm going to just stick the knot in a glue dot and then just kind of tuck it here. to 11 inches, but I see that's a bit long. So I can just trim the tails like so. And we need some of our speckled dots again. So I'm going to use the copper clay and the creamy one there. And we'll stamp the inside again for you. And this time I'm going to grab it here. So I'm going to use this branch shape here and this leaf. So I think I'm still using this, that's why it's out. I'm going to stamp in wild wheat. So I'm going to use my controversial wild wheat here. And I just kind of want them kind of poking out a little bit. And then we're going to stamp the leaf in copper clay. So let's grab that and black. That's just like a little fun detail on your card, right? And then we're going to stamp on the inside that I am thankful for all that you do in the pretty peacock. So I think I need more blocks. But we'll just clean. Okay, so we'll put the I'm thankful. And this is little guy is the for all that you do, or for all you do. Ooh, I love these colors together. All right. There, a bonus inside. I'm so proud of myself for doing the inside of the card for you today. Okay. And we'll just fold that up. And there's our second card. So I hope that you learned some, you got 2 fall color combos that you can use. Seen a few different ways to use the autumn leaf size. I hope that you like those. I'll just come up here. All right, thanks so much for watching today. I think that went by really fast for me. I don't know how about you guys. Like I said, if you want to make these cards, just contact me. I've got a few different ways that you can make these cards as well, or you can just use these layout ideas or these color combos in your own creating, and I hope that you have fun doing that. And I'll be back again next week with a fun project, so don't miss out. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.